Hey there, my name is Jeff Perry. I'm the author of The Intentional Engineer. And sometimes I get people asking me, what's the story behind writing this book? Why did you do it? Where did that come from? And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about in this video. Let's jump in. Okay, so why did I write this book? Where did it come from? And what's it all about? Well, there's a few different pieces to this. I've been involved in coaching and training for a number of years now, on my own for about 5 years. And after doing that for a long time, I noticed that the theme of being intentional became a theme of the way that I would work with people and something that I would help with. It became a key word that I loved helping people unlock their intentions, get clarity on them, and then live from those intentions about who they were trying to become. So that just became a theme. So the concept of intentionality became a huge part of the work that I did. But I've wanted to write a book for a lot of years. I always knew that that would happen at some point, but I was also very scared of it for a number of reasons. First of all, for a whole lot of my life, I was scared of writing. I didn't like it. In fact, I actively avoided doing as much writing as possible. I got into engineering originally because I loved math and science, because there were right answers. It was really objective, and things were either right or wrong when you got an answer on a test, and I liked that. I didn't like things that were subjective, like writing and creative things like that, and so I avoided that. So when I thought about the concept like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to write a book so I could be an author, that was more of a status symbol. But when I thought about actually going through the process of making that happen, that was terrifying. But I got a little bit better about that, because over the years of being a coach and trainer and stuff, I also became a writer of many blogs and articles. Every week I was writing a newsletter or a blog article on my own website. Twice a month I was writing a newsletter article on LinkedIn. And quite frequently I would write other guest articles for other outlets. And so probably 6 to 8 to 10 times a month I was writing something. Right? So I actually got a lot more comfortable with the process of writing in general and creating content, sharing and ideas. But it eventually came down to a couple of things that came together that said, hey, it's time to do this. So one is I was having conversations with a couple of mentors, and it seemed like I had a few mentors and people that I was talking to that kept saying, hey, when are you going to write that first book? What's that first book going to be about? Have you written a book yet? And it became a theme. And at one point, I remember it was a Thursday night, and I was having a conversation with a mentor who was in New Zealand, of all places. And he said, have you written that first book yet? When are you going to do that? And I said, no, but I'm thinking I have an event that's in a little over 3 months, and they're going to give me an exhibit booth. And I'm thinking, how cool would that be to have my book on the table? He's like, yeah, that'd be amazing. And I thought through, I was like, you know what? I've written on a lot of these topics for years now. I could absolutely put together a book. And coincidentally or not, I had recently reconnected with another mentor of mine who I'd learned a lot from in terms of marketing and other things, who also was a book coach. And he had a program and a book and a workbook that taught you how to write and publish a book in 90 days. I said, hey, I've got a forcing function, is what I call it, that I needed to deliver this by, and I had a plan to go about and do that, and I had support around me. And so I committed to it. There's a lot of energy behind that. I went from that conversation with the mentor, and I went upstairs and told my wife, I was like, I think I'm going to write a book. She's like, oh, great. And I was like, I think I'm going to do it in about 3 months. She's like, oh, okay. And you know what? I did it. I created that plan, and the book published about a week before I went to that event, and I was able to take a whole bunch of books to that event and start sharing that with people. And it became a top seller, top new release. A few months later, I released the audiobook, and it's done really well for me and continues to get in the hands of people who want to be more intentional in their lives and their careers. But the crazy thing is before I really committed to that, I thought that the concept of writing a book, it seemed overwhelming. And certainly saying I was going to write a book and publish it in 3 months seemed impossible. But I did it. And I had that intention, and I created a plan, and I got the support around me in terms of coaching and an editor. And my wife was extremely supportive, was the first editor, and was able to make that happen. Now, it's not just like it only happened in 3 months. I've been working on creating that skill of writing and creating a lot of content for years, but I still made something happen that I didn't think was possible previously. So what could that be for you, right? So it's a little story about why I wrote and how I wrote The Intentional Engineer. But maybe there's something in your life something that keeps pricking you and that you want to do and you've been putting off. And maybe you just need to fully commit to it and rally the support around you, have some sort of forcing function that you need to deliver by to help you reach that goal and make it happen. It will take some hard work and dedication. There were some long nights and early mornings, but it's hugely rewarding to be able to do something like that. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't gotten a copy of The Intentional Engineer, I encourage you to go find one on theintentionalengineer.com, or you can go to Amazon and find it there on Kindle print version, or on the audio version as well if you want to listen to it. So hope you can grab that. And whether you're an engineer or not, I think it can help you live and create a more intentional career and life. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you on the next video.